The 1981 dollar coin of the United States, often referred to as the Susan B. Anthony dollar, hold a unique place in modern American coinage. When we talk about this particular coin without a mint mark, we are referring to the pieces that were struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The Philadelphia Mint traditionally did not place a mint mark on coins during this period, and thus collectors identify these pieces as Philadelphia issues. The Susan B. Anthony dollar was introduced in 1979, replacing the larger Eisenhower dollar. The main reason for this change was practicality. The Eisenhower dollar was quite large and heavy, making it inconvenient for circulation. The United States Mint decided to issue a smaller dollar coin, closer in size to the quarter, with the hope that it would gain wider acceptance in everyday transactions. However, the new coin quickly faced criticism because its size and color were very similar to that of the quarter, leading to widespread confusion among the public. The obverse of the coin features a portrait of Susan B. Anthony, the prominent women's suffrage leader who played an instrumental role in the fight for women's voting rights in America. This design was historic, as Susan B. Anthony became the first real, historical woman ever depicted on a circulating U.S. coin. The reverse of the coin carried over the design from the Eisenhower dollar, the image of an eagle landing on the moon based on the Apollo 11 insignia. This design was chosen as a tribute to the success of the American space program, which was still fresh in the national memory during the late 1970s. Now, focusing specifically on the 1981 dollar coin without a mint mark, this coin was minted in large numbers. More than 27 million pieces were struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Because of this high mintage, the $1,980 without a mint mark is not considered rare. In average circulated condition, such coins usually trade close to their face value of $1. In today's market, most of these coins, when found in worn or circulated condition, will be worth only about $1 to a collector or perhaps slightly above face value if sold individually. However, collectors often seek out coins in higher grades. When a 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar without a mint mark is found in uncirculated or mint state condition, its value begins to rise. For example, in mint state grades like MS-63 or MS-64, the coin may sell for $2 to $5. At higher levels, such as MS-66 or MS-67, the price can go up significantly, sometimes reaching around $40 to $100, depending on the coin's quality, strike, and overall eye appeal. Exceptional specimens graded by professional grading services, such as PCGS or NGC, can command even stronger prices, particularly if they are nearly flawless. It is important to understand that condition plays the biggest role in determining the value of this coin. A heavily circulated piece, with scratches, marks, and wear, will never be worth much more than its face value. On the other hand, a bright, lustrous coin with sharp details, free from damage, can attract collector interest and a higher premium in the market. Another point worth noting is that while the 1980 Philadelphia coin is the one without the mint mark, there are also coins struck in Denver with a D mint mark and in San Francisco with an S mint mark. The San Francisco Mint primarily produced proof coins, which are collector pieces with mirror-like surface. These proof versions carry additional value, usually selling for several dollars each even in basic condition. But since we are focusing on the Philadelphia issue without a mint mark, the market reality remains that most circulated examples are valued at face value, while high-grade mint state examples may command more. Collectors sometimes look for varieties or errors that can make an ordinary coin more valuable. In the 1980 Susan B. Anthony series, there are not many dramatic varieties, but there could be minor doubling, striking issues, or planchet problems that may increase value. Such coins can occasionally sell for higher prices, depending on the rarity and demand of the error. To put today's market in perspective, let us consider actual sale records. A typical circulated 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar without mint mark usually sells for about $1 to $1.25. In rolls of 25 coins, dealers may sell them for around $30 to $35, which again shows they're only slightly above face value. In mint state, the value improves. For instance, an MS-65 coin might bring around $20 to $30, An MS-67 coin has been known to sell for over $100 at auction. This shows that while the majority of these coins remain common and inexpensive, there are select examples that achieve higher values because of their outstanding preservation. Serious collectors who build registry sets of Susan B. Anthony dollars especially compete for the finest examples, driving up the price for those few coins that survive in pristine quality. Another aspect to keep in mind is the historical importance of the Susan B. Anthony dollar. Even though it was not popular in circulation, it was groundbreaking in terms of honoring a woman on U.S. coinage. For this reason, many collectors like to include it in their collections, not necessarily for its monetary value, but for its cultural and historical significance. Over the years, the Susan B. Anthony dollar has gained more appreciation among collectors, though it still lags behind other U.S. coins in terms of demand. The confusion with the quarter was a major factor in its rejection by the public, and this limited its use in everyday commerce. As a result, many 1981 dollar coins, especially those without mint marks, still remain in government storage or in the hands of banks, slowly entering circulation over time. So, in summary, the 1981 dollar coin without mint mark in circulating condition is generally valued at face value, around $1. In today's market, the only way to achieve higher value is to have a coin in uncirculated or high mint state condition, where values may range from a few dollars up to $100 or more for the very finest examples. Collectors continue to keep an eye out for errors or exceptional quality, but the majority of these coins remain affordable and common. When you hold a 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar, you're holding a piece of American history, one that represents not only the challenges of coinage design and public acceptance, but also the recognition of an important figure in American history. While the financial value of the coin might not be very high in most cases, its historical and cultural value is undeniable, and that is why it continues to be a part of numismatic discussions and collections. The 1981 dollar coin of the United States, known as the Susan B. Anthony dollar, is an important piece of modern American numismatic history. In this video, we will explore in detail the story of this coin, its design, its background, its mintage, and of course, its value in today's market. By the end, you will have a complete understanding of what makes this coin unique, why collectors pay attention to it, and what its realistic price is if you own one today. Let us begin with the history. The Susan B. Anthony dollar was first introduced in 1979. The idea behind this coin was to replace the large Eisenhower dollar, which had been issued from 1971 to 1978. The Eisenhower dollar was heavy, oversized, and not very convenient to carry or use in daily life. The United States Mint decided to design a smaller dollar coin, closer in size to the quarter, with the hope that Americans would actually use it in everyday commerce. However, this decision backfired. The new coin was nearly the same size, the same color, and almost the same appearance as the Washington quarter. This caused tremendous confusion in circulation. Many people accidentally gave away dollar coins thinking they were quarters. Businesses disliked handling them because of the constant mix-ups. As a result, the Susan B. Anthony dollar never gained popularity. Even though millions were struck, they piled up in bank vaults and remained unwanted by the general public. Now, let us turn to the design. On the obverse or front of the coin, we see the portrait of Susan B. Anthony, the famous suffragist and women's rights activist. She was one of the most influential figures in the movement that secured the right to vote for women in the United States. This coin made history because she was the first real, historical woman ever featured on a circulating American coin. The reverse or backside of the coin shows an eagle landing on the moon, adapted from the Apollo 11 mission insignia. This design had first been used on the Eisenhower dollar, and it was carried over to the new, smaller dollar as well. Now, specifically about the 1981 dollar coin without a mint mark. The absence of mint mark tells us that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. In 1980, more than 27 million Susan B. Anthony dollars were minted at Philadelphia. Because the mintage was so high, this coin is considered common rather than rare. For that reason, its market value is usually very close to its face value of $1, especially if the coin has been circulated. So what is it worth today? Let's break it down. In circulated condition, the 1981 dollar without a mint mark generally sells for $1 to $1.25. That is, most pieces are worth only their face value. In uncirculated or mint state grades, such as MS-63 or MS-64, the value may rise to $2 to $5. In higher mint state grades like MS-65 or MS-66, prices can range from $20 to $60. In the top gem grade, MS-67, the coin can sometimes sell for $100 or more at auctions, depending on eye appeal and demand. This shows that condition is the single most important factor in determining the value of a $1,980 coin. A worn, scratched, circulated coin is almost always just worth $1, but a sharp, lustrous, uncirculated example with no damage can be worth significantly more. Collectors also look for special varieties and minting errors. While the 1980 issue does not have major, widely recognized varieties, there are always the possibilities of double dies, off-center strikes, or planchet errors. Such error coins can be much more valuable than standard examples, with prices varying depending on rarity and demand. Another point of interest is the difference between coins from the three mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia coins are the ones without a mint mark. Denver coins carry a D mint mark, and San Francisco coins usually carry an S, and were issued mostly as proofs for collectors. The proof coins from San Francisco are usually worth more than their face value, often several dollars apiece. But our focus here is the Philadelphia no mint mark issue. When we compare real sales in the market, the numbers confirm what we have discussed. Dealers often sell rolls of 25 circulated 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollars for around $30 to $35. Individual circulated coins sell for face value. Uncirculated examples in MS-65 may trade for $20 to $30. High-end MS-67 coins, which are extremely difficult to find, can sell for $100 or even higher. Despite their lack of widespread use, Susan B. Anthony dollars have cultural and historical importance. They remind us of the attempt to modernize U.S. currency, of the struggle with public acceptance of new coinage, and of the groundbreaking decision to feature a woman on an American circulating coin. Collectors often keep them not for profit, but for the story they tell and the history they represent. In conclusion, if you have a 1981 dollar coin without a mint mark in circulated condition, it is almost certainly worth only about $1. If it is uncirculated, and especially if it is graded by a professional service in a high mint state, its value can range anywhere from a few dollars to $100 or more. This makes the coin both accessible to beginning collectors and interesting to advanced collectors who seek out the highest quality examples. So while the 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar may not make you rich, it does offer you a chance to own a genuine piece of American history, one that reflects the story of women's rights, space exploration, and the challenges of coinage design.